catch him one more time. I really wanna
Goat, you know how we'll call it, if goats should be able to be tameable, we'll call it weapons if they're like goats, like goats will be able to have a increased jump boost. Also, what I'm saying about the goats, what they might add into the game, is not call it accurate or true. Too. There's a chance of being true, but it's just an expectation of what they might do. Yeah. Because then they're gonna make a update about how they're gonna fix region and make goats. I already made a other video about pretty much it's based off another theory of how what goats may drop, but it's not true yet. That's why I say that is because for right now, because for the public's opinion, and call it for it's not true. I'm saying this is because it's not true yet because it hasn't the update hasn't came out. So it's not confirmed yet. It's not confirmed true or false. So where you're able to tame you'll be able to tame the goats and call you it's just a speculation, and where you can take if you can, or the goats be like a mountain where you're able to tame them, and the benefit of riding a goat is you can jump higher. And right now I'm just if the people that are curious what I'm doing, I'm just building a statue of a goat. And also my other theory is to call it well, goats have different because they didn't show us as that if or say anything about different color variants, like they said they're gonna have foxes, but they didn't tell us if there's gonna be different variants. And also because last time they added a snow called a snow called a snow fox. Max. So there will be actually different variants of the call it of the goat. Okay, I've done a separate another video about another theory about goats and what they might add. What they might add to the game. Where I talked about what happens if the goats drop like their horns, and you can craft them into a like a handle or a we call it a or a call it a war call it a call it a war horn. Call it, and you can call it, and they might actually. The theory is they might be able to, if they do add that, other theories that might actually at the same time add that to pillagers when they raid, because it's like kind of a cool, call it notification, call it kind of telling you that when you're in a village, you're being raided, and you're just ringing the war horn. It's a kind of fun idea if you think about it. But the only sad part is, I call it, or if okay, if my idea is true, they can get the horns. I just realized because goats, no, they don't. Uh, it's, I was thinking that what happens if the goats? I don't know if it's actually I'm actually gonna search this up. If do goats lose their horns? It's like same thing as deers. Okay, and we should specifically more on mountain goats. Mountain goats shed their horns. Mountain goats have slender, pointed horns that extend up and away from their long, narrow head. Goat's horns grow constantly and never shed. Oh, unlike the antlers of elk, deer, and moose, sinew rings from the goat's horns each year. Oh, okay. So my theory will be most likely false. That call it that the goats. I was thinking the goats might shed their horns, but no, because that's ain't go. Because that's kind of not true. So, because if they're doing it on a base opinion on more like it being true, ooh, 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 that I call it. It would be most likely not be able to be true because goats don't shed their horns. So pretty much, will the goats be able to call it? Be able to like? Will they have something about, like where goats can grow their like how? Because they just found out that goats call it they call it the goats don't lose their horns, but no, mountain goats don't lose their horns. So they call it they grow an extra ring. So would they make them when they grow? Will they make them grow an extra ring over time? Sounds like a fun idea. Yeah, but then for the Warhorn idea, that means you have to kill the goats in order to get them. And then Cloud might not actually add that feature in because you're trying to, yeah, I don't know, if I don't know, they're trying to not, if they do it like the bees, then they're not going to add that feature because it kind of tells them that there's some, because they did like last month they call it let they can that nothing that you want to have bees because bees are kind of useful for like growing crops and all that. uh, how goats will and then how goats will most likely work that you if they did they're gonna be based off last snapshot. They're not gonna allow you to kill the goats to get their horns because they're gonna be supporting and you want to kill the goats, but pretty sure the goats would be the same thing like sheep where you can call it, shear them. Wait, wait. I just thought of another idea. Call it. Will you be able to milk these goats? Actually, wait, wait. That actually might be what they might add. That you might be able to. They might add it in where you're able to milk goat the goats. But oh, never mind. Actually, they might not add that because these are mountain goats. So I don't know if they're just kind of the same thing. Same thing. Hmm. Okay, that because they're doing it based off if they're mountain goats, they might base it off if they call it more on the how mountain goats features like we did last time with the I call it with the call it with the bees. Okay, they did base the last snapshot. They might do it more like the bees, but we never know about these things. How what what more would they add? We'll never know until they add them. But actually, it seemed a cool way just to keep these mountain goats around and let them live. That live as a one benefit to keep the sheeps alive. And yeah, it might seem a great idea. And also, sometime call it in the video, they're gonna help call it world generation or like you might see like missing chunks or the sometimes but this barely happens is where or if I might be wrong, but where about this is where we call it where pieces of the chunks loading how the world generation works is how call it that it might be not completely like how the mountain generates, like some of it might be like completely off, or there might be huge just gaps. Yes, I might be wrong about that, but one thing they're definitely gonna fix this update is floating blocks when the map generates. The reason why they're removing that is because it does not look natural, and also uh, I'll call it that. Yeah, that because that does not look this does not look natural. Where like you go to a new area and the area, call it the area just looks like off. Like you randomly see floating blocks in the air. That's my explanation about the goat. I already have done another another video based off the goats where I talk about the war horns and what and one more thing they call it ad and they call it about oh yeah their new block Snowy or Snow. Oh, about the other video. So I have a playlist of my Minecraft theories about these updates. So it is called. You can always go to the playlist and check them out. I think that's all I have for this video, and see you guys later in the next video.